In 1894, Swami Sri Yukteswar Giri met Mahavatar Babaji, who was the guru of his guru, at the Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj. This event took place during a gathering of hundreds of thousands of yogis and ascetics who had come to take a holy dip in the Ganga. This remarkable event not only influenced Sri Yukteswar's spiritual mission, but it also made it possible for yoga to spread in the West through his most famous disciple, Paramahansa Yogananda. Mahavatar Babaji, who is immortal, had revived the lost science of Kriya Yoga by teaching it to Lahiri Mahasaya. He predicted that he would send a disciple to Sri Yukteswar, who would take yoga to faraway places. Yogananda's introduction of Kriya Yoga to the world through his influential book, Autobiography of a Yogi, as well as his tireless teaching efforts in America and Europe, made this prophecy come true. Swami Sri Yukteswar, who is honored as a guru of unmatched wisdom, was not only a master of Kriya Yoga, but also a personification of discipline, kindness, and divine knowledge. In his descriptions of Sri Yukteswar, Paramahansa Yogananda painted a picture of a saint who was softer than a flower where kindness is concerned, stronger than thunder where principles are at stake. According to his followers, every word that Sri Yukteswar spoke was filled with deep wisdom and complete clarity, making a lasting impact on everyone who interacted with him. Sri Yukteswar was born Priyanath Karar on May 10, 1855, in Serampore, India. He came from a wealthy family. Priyanath, who was still young at the time, was left with the responsibility of taking care of the family's farm and household after his father, a wealthy trader, died unexpectedly. Sri Yukteswar was exposed to wealth and responsibility at an early age, but he found formal education to be uninspiring, believing that it was inadequate and superficial. However, his strong interest in the Bible while he was a student at Serampore Christian Missionary College and during his 2 years at Calcutta Medical College provided the groundwork for his later blending of Hindu and Christian philosophies. In 1884, Sri Yukteswar met Lahiri Mahasaya, and this meeting marked the beginning of his transformative spiritual journey. He was introduced to the ancient science of self-realization after meeting this great master of Kriya Yoga. Lahiri Mahasaya became the guiding light for Sri Yukteswar, and under his instruction, Sri Yukteswar became a Jnana Avatara, which is an incarnation of wisdom. Sri Yukteswar frequently traveled to Varanasi to see Lahiri Mahasaya. He absorbed his teachings and devoted himself to the practice of Kriya Yoga, which he later recommended to his followers as the only way to practice sadhana. In 1894, Sri Yukteswar met Mahavatar Babaji at the Kumbh Mela, and this meeting was the turning point in Sri Yukteswar's mission. Babaji stressed the importance of bringing together Eastern and Western spiritual traditions and asked Sri Yukteswar to write a book that would emphasize the fundamental unity between Hindu and Christian scriptures. Sri Yukteswar completed this directive by writing The Holy Science, Kaivalya Darshan, an extraordinary piece of work that compares the teachings of the Bible with ancient Hindu wisdom, emphasizing the universal truths that go beyond the boundaries of religion. Sri Yukteswar was dedicated to both spiritual discipline and education throughout his life. He founded 2 ashrams, one in Serampore and the other in Puri, where he spent his time alternating between teaching his disciples and encouraging spiritual exploration. His ashrams became places of refuge for those who were truly searching for something, where strict spiritual training was balanced with a focus on rational thought, scientific understanding, and moral behavior. Sri Yukteswar's forward-thinking perspective included the education of women, which was not common in Bengal at that time. Sri Yukteswar's insistence on the importance of combining spirituality with scientific and rational investigation is one of his most lasting contributions. He created a thorough curriculum for schools that includes subjects like physics, physiology, geography, astronomy, and astrology. He also authored a fundamental book on astrology, which assisted his followers in comprehending the cosmic influences that affect human life. His knowledge of astronomy was the reason he was able to create the Yuga hypothesis in the Holy Science, which changed the way traditional timelines were defined and emphasized the cyclical nature of human evolution. Sri Yukteswar's teaching style was marked by a blend of strict discipline and deep compassion. Although he had a small number of disciples, those who did follow him were very dedicated. Mukundalal Ghosh, who later became known as Paramahansa Yogananda, was the most well-known of them. He joined Sri Yukteswar in 1910. Yogananda got ready for his important mission of introducing Kriya Yoga to the West with the help of his guru. Yogananda finished his formal education because Sri Yukteswar insisted on intellectual rigor. This would later help him connect with audiences in the West. Yogananda fulfilled Mahavatar Babaji's prophecy when he traveled to America by boat in 1920. Yogananda founded the Self-Realization Fellowship, which brought Kriya Yoga to the forefront of spiritual practices in the West through his eloquence, charisma, and profound spiritual insights. Millions of people around the world continue to be inspired by the teachings of Sri Yukteswar, which are summarized in Yogananda's writings and his global mission. Sri Yukteswar's spiritual legacy is based on his profound understanding of the human desire for happiness and fulfillment. He identified the three fundamental needs of the human heart in the holy science: Sat, truth; Chit, consciousness; and Ananda, bliss. He stressed that true happiness comes from aligning oneself with eternal principles rather than from external accomplishments. Sri Yukteswar described a way of self-discipline, meditation, and moral courage that would help seekers overcome suffering and ignorance and reach a state of Satchidananda. Sri Yukteswar also emphasized that devotion, or shraddha, is the foundation for spiritual practice and is therefore very important. He taught that the path to divine realization begins with immense love and reverence for one's guru and all beings. When this love is combined with disciplined meditation and moral conduct, it leads to the transformation of the initiate into a divine being, radiating the virtues of compassion, wisdom, and selflessness. Sri Yukteswar's presence continued to be a guiding force for his disciples even after he physically departed on March 9, 1936. His remarkable resurrection in an astral form before Paramahansa Yogananda in a hotel in Mumbai confirmed his message of everlasting life and the ongoing presence of spiritual guidance. Yogananda described this meeting with great admiration, detailing Sri Yukteswar's brilliant appearance and his lessons about the astral realms, which are places where souls continue to develop spiritually. Sri Yukteswar's teachings went beyond just individual liberation. They also included the improvement of society. He stressed that behaving morally, serving others without expecting anything in return, and seeking knowledge are all essential components of a spiritual life. He thought that a genuinely spiritual person is not only self-aware, but also has a positive impact on the world, helping to improve the lives of others. Sri Yukteswar's idea of a harmonious integration of science, spirituality, and education continues to be relevant in today's conversations about holistic living. Sri Yukteswar's legacy is that of a spiritual scientist. He was a master who combined ancient wisdom with modern understanding, bridging the gap between the East and the West. His life and teachings demonstrate the highest ideals of Hindu spirituality, highlighting the idea that all religions are one and that truth is universal. His message, as recorded by his disciples, is a timeless call to self-realization, to seek the divine within, and to live a life of purpose, clarity, and compassion. Sri Yukteswar continues to be a guiding light for those who are searching for ultimate freedom, thanks to his significant contributions.